Dear 2026, I'm done over planning. I think we all feel the pressure at the beginning of a new year. If we don't have the perfect plan or, a plan in general, we feel quite behind. Everywhere that you look, there are routines, there are challenges, there are new systems you can implement, new goals to reach, and all of these things. And instead of feeling inspired, you just feel overwhelmed. In this video, I want to talk a little bit about this. For this, I will start. I mean, I have my little iPad down here, just so you know why I'm looking down. I have some notes that we're going to go through. For the first chapter, I'm going to call this the New Year Trap: over planning and advice overload. So we think that all the advice will actually help us to start, but sometimes it actually keeps us stuck. And for that, I quickly want to show you guys when we look at all the advice that is out there. I'm just gonna put my little video to the side and open up YouTube. So what I did is I just typed in like 2026 New Year's resolution on YouTube, and literally I scrolled down already, but you can just see like there's so much videos and so much information out there. Like we have 6 habits to make 2026 your best year yet, how to actually crush your 2026 goals, and what else? We have how to strategically plan for a new year, and we have so much information like um oh, I'm actually gonna I think I'm just gonna start recording. Wait a minute. So I'm actually just recording now. I didn't prior, but now I've just started to record because photo booth for some reason locks me out. So now we are filming here as well. But what I wanted to say is that yeah, here are literally all the things that we have to do before January become unrecognizable. 30-day comeback for 2026. Like you see the gist of it. We can just keep scrolling. There's so much out there, from YouTube videos to shorts and whatnot. And there's like plus like on different platforms as well. Like you have things on Instagram, on TikTok, and all of these things. And I'm just gonna close it up and put myself in the middle again. So don't mind the timer down here. It's just because I'm actually like filming with photo booth now. What I wanted to say is that we think that all of the advice like will help us start. We think that that's literally I need to advise in order for me to start, because otherwise I cannot start, maybe, right? But sometimes this very thing actually just keeps us stuck because we have so much information, and it is really something like planning becomes like a way of delaying the actual act. We spend our time planning, writing everything down, writing lists down, mapping out the whole year, like month by month, day by day even, and somehow starting feels heavier than ever, even though we have all these things in place. It's not that the advice is bad or anything, don't get me wrong. Like, no, it's not. The advice is usually good, unless it's like something super ridiculous, but usually it's actually like good advice. But it's just like too much of it makes the starting feel very impossible. Now that we talked a little bit that we have this like over planning and like over consumption, and we have so much information about everything, I just wanted to talk about like why starting feels so hard, and like the psychology of beginning, if you will. For that, we have to just talk about starting in general, I believe. Let me frame it this way. So, starting something new isn't just you're starting something, right? It's literally you stepping into uncertainty. Like, your brain doesn't know if what you're starting will have like a positive outcome, if you will fail, or if you taking the risk will actually like, be worth it. You literally don't know that, right? There's also something that happens as well as like the identity shift. So when you start something new, you also change your identity. This is a quick example. For example, you say that you only drink soda, right? And now you want to start to drink water, and you start to drink water, and now you become a person who drinks water. It's like such a simple example, but it's literally like you're changing who you are initially. And that can be, you can apply that to any other thing. For example, if you are someone who never goes to the gym, and now all of a sudden you will start going to the gym, and then that means like you're shifting your identity to a person that is someone who goes to the gym, right? So, and this identity shift is actually like a huge thing. It's not just something that we should take lightly. It's actually like a huge thing that happens. So, this is one thing. And because this happens, And because starting means becoming someone new, our brain wants to resist that. Our brain doesn't really want us to do something new. Our brain wants to keep us where we were, where we are safe, and wants to keep us doing the things that we've always done and that was working for us. And we also take into consideration the new year layer, that we are now in front of a new year. A new year is approaching. When we take that into consideration as well, like that amplifies this whole idea even more, because that initially means that it's not just a habit that we're starting. We're not just starting to drink more water or going to the gym or whatever, but we're literally planning like a whole year. Like, this thing always keeps going off, and I don't know. Let me quickly see if I can change that up. Just had to like fix the display, but I think now it should work. So what I was saying is that I'm trying to plan 12 months, 365 days, and everything needs to be, planned out by January 1st. And we have to have action steps and whatnot. And that is really huge. Like, that is actually like a huge thing. That's why it feels so heavy. And also, if you add like another layer to that, if you look at like society and, like a lot of creators or a lot of people talk about like the whole energy is shifting and the whole atmosphere is different and everything, it's literally because like it feels like everyone on this planet is now trying to change everything, and or trying to implement new things and trying to follow all these steps and go about their lives with the advice that is out there to make 2026 the best year ever. And that can also like add like additional pressure because everyone is so loud about it. Everyone is so loud about it, what they're doing, and then that can also feel so overwhelming as well. Let's go back to the idea of over planning. And because we mentioned that earlier, now I want to talk about over planning is self protection, or that over planning can be self protection. So we oftentimes think that when we are just like over planning, a lot of times that is like tied to like us procrastinating. What I think it's also something that is noteworthy is that over planning is not necessarily laziness, but it is a form of self protection. Because when we are honest, when we think about something, when we think about whatever it is, when we think about ideas that we have, when we think about the visions that we have and whatnot, the goals that we have, and all of these things, when we think about these things, that just feels so much safer than doing, because thinking has literally no consequences. Like, when we think, we can think about it, whatever it is, like the day, the year, the goals and everything, and that has like no consequences. But what does have consequences is when we actually take action, because when we take action and we start doing something, that invites feedback from people, from friends and family, and from people that we don't even know. And now here we are having to receive the feedback, and we don't know if we're actually like ready for it, right? We don't know if you're ready to receive that, and this makes us also vulnerable. Like, we're now here and have all this feedback from the people, and we're like, what am I doing with, right? So that's why we actually just wait. We say, okay, I have the plan, but I'm now just waiting. I'm waiting to protect myself. I'm waiting for the perfect time to come. I'm waiting until I feel ready. You're looking left, right. Okay, I'm waiting. I'm here. I have the plan, but I'm waiting. I'm sitting on the plan, but I'm waiting. That's literally what we are doing. But if I'm being honest with you, that feeling never comes first. Like, the feeling of feeling ready, or being ready, that feeling literally never comes. Like, listen to me closely, it never comes. Okay, you heard that? It never comes, or it rarely comes. What something that comes close to it is momentum. Momentum usually comes after the action, and it doesn't come before that. So when you create momentum about something, whatever it is, your goal, whatever it is, then you actually start feeling ready, or feeling like, oh, this is something that I've done before, or this is something that comes easy to me. You know what I mean? But you need to take the action first. And speaking of taking the action first, let's jump to the next chapter, which is just start, but start gentle. Okay. So for this, I just wrote like some notes down actually. Let me pull this up as well. I pulled some notes down, really simple. Oops, big as well. Let me make that smaller. I think you can see it already. But I put some notes down and I just wrote down year 2026. We don't need a perfect plan for 2026. We don't need clarity on like the whole year. We don't need clarity on what we're doing month by month, day by day. What we need is we need just like the next small step we can take. Literally, the next small actionable step that you can take. That is what we need. Something that I would even add to it is maybe I'm just going to write that down quickly is that starting imperfectly is still starting, right? I'm just going to add that. Starting imperfect. Ooh, imperfectly is still starting. This is really important as well. Starting imperfectly is still starting, which is so important. And then I would also add that is literally all the progress that you need to know what you're doing next and not what you're doing in 12 months or like in 5 months or in 6 months. We can plan so much. Life is unpredictable, like when we spend like our time literally like planning everything out, then it can just become something like where we're just wasting our time planning everything but not actually doing the very thing that we said we're going to do. And in addition to that the little notes that I have here, I also like found a quote that I personally believe fits perfectly into this video and this topic. Um, and this is this quote here. I always open everything up in front of me. There you go. I'm actually not sure if this quote is by this guy, but I've seen it time and time again, and I'm just gonna read it out. I think it just fits perfectly. And it says, "Your first workout will be bad. Your first podcast will be bad. Your first speech will be bad. Your first video will be bad. Your first anything will be bad, but you can't make your 100th without making your first. So put your ego aside and start." And I will even add something to it. I would even say that not only put your ego aside, but you should also put like the fear of failure aside, the fear of, being judged aside, fear in general, and also like maybe that cringe feeling, that feeling where we're like, oh, I'm not sure, this is weird. Da, 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 da. We should put all that aside and like just simply start. And I think this quote is so good because oftentimes we just get stuck on having everything be perfect. We want the perfect plan, we want the outcome to be perfect right away. And it's just like not reality, like you need to be bad at something before you become good at it. I mean, for most people, some people are just talented and gifted, and that's amazing. And we just say, good for you, honey. But for the rest of us that, need time and need to learn first to become great or work hard to become great, I think that that is just something that is really important for us to take away, that we're just like, you know what, it's okay if my first beginnings are not perfect, but if I just take one little step, that will, literally be everything and will be enough as well. Yeah, so that is just how I would end this video because I think the quote is really good and sums everything up perfectly. I'm gonna put myself back in the middle. So what I will say is, dear 2026, let's stop over planning and let's just start. But let's start gently. Okay, let's do that. Can we do that? So yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I also just started. You can see I had some little technical issues along the way, but I think that it's fine. We'll figure it out. This is me just trying. And if you guys enjoy, if there's anything that you learned from the video, please don't hesitate to write it in the comments below, or how you like this format, or if you even have like ideas for different topics. But I have a few topics that I want to discuss with you and just create this format where we just dive into different topics more regularly. Till then, I see you guys in my next video. Bye.